trust. I'd like to speak, and I'd love it if you would address trust, in that we know we have been living in a fear-based reality. That is the truth of our immediate past. And to make this this shift, this is a paradigm shift into trusting nature, trusting reality, trusting the universe, yeah. Trusting the abundance that's there for everyone.
And relating this to the future is perhaps the real question. What is it that's going to get us into a positive future?
So what is it that will get us through the into the trust frequency?
How can we shift this paradigm from a fear-based paradigm to a trust-based paradigm? I'm going to ask Connie that one.
Well, frankly, I feel that the dominant energy on the planet in the past has been fear, and it has affected everyone on the planet. Even the native people who have a trust-based cosmology, they have been influenced by the fear. Everyone, the white people as well, obviously, because we've really gone there with the fear paradigm. I mean, we have a scarcity-based paradigm that's just bred fear. But
I sense that there isn't enough.
Yeah, that there isn't enough to go around. So I have to grab what I can, so I have power over others, so that they can't take what I have. So some people think it's human nature to be greedy. I think it's not human nature. It's fear-based, and it's based on I have to provide for my children and my children's children, so I'm going to get as much as I can so that I have something for the rainy day, for my children's survival. It's survival. And I believe that energy, that the earth has moved into another place in the heavens where that energy has dissipated. It's moved into the love frequency, the energy where the dominant energy is love. And that we're starting to watch now that, like Murphy's Law, that everything used to end up with a toast down, jam side down. Well, now we're starting to notice that the jam side is landing up. And we're starting to relax and starting to trust and starting to let things flow. And even Nike says, just do it. You know, we're just starting to release from the grips of that fear. And we're starting to notice that when we do, all of a sudden, oh, that person I wanted to see, you know, that I was so afraid I wasn't going to get to see, oh my God, there he is in the line, or there he is at the market, or whatever. Things are just starting to come together in balance automatically once we release our fear and start to just allow things to happen.
This fear is it's a big break. It's a big drag.
It's a paradigm shift to our break in the sense of slowing us down. It's
the
a
fear
paralysis.
has been slowing us, holding us down.
Society is if you will, paralyzed with fear.
Yeah.
And the big question then is, how do you bring about that change in an individual, and how do you bring about that change in society as a whole?
The film opens this door very wide, so that more of us can pass through that door. And I remember in the film that a couple of the elders speak about this. I'll leave it for our viewers to see the film and find those moments themselves when they get a sense of how do I move beyond my fear and into the future that is ours if we claim it. But there are warnings in the film as well.
There are warnings. We don't go to the dark side. Everybody's seen films about pollution and destruction and global warming and so on. We do not go there. That subject is well covered. What is not well covered is how we're going to get out of it. And our belief is that
we want the taxi to the bright side.
In a sense, like as Einstein said, no problem is ever solved in the same consciousness in which it is created. So a certain consciousness, the consciousness being the set of assumptions or the paradigm that got us to where we are, that, there are these limited resources, and in this level, there's no question about it. the greed that it comes from fear has resulted in what we see today. How are we going to get beyond that? By changing that fundamental assumption from one of fear of scarcity to one of trust in abundance. How do you communicate that? How do you demonstrate that? How do you, because it sounds great, but how do you convince someone who's struggling that this is indeed the case?
Well, we've brought forth these 10 assumptions for a new paradigm that we give a framework on which to understand why the reality that we experience right now has a certain set of laws. And we're explaining in our 10 assumptions, in our definitions, that every thought has a frequency and creates a reality on that frequency, and there are certain laws on that frequency. So if we start moving our thinking to higher frequencies, the laws that are applied to us change on an individual and collective basis. So you can live in the same house with someone for whom life is easy, or in the same family. And for you who believe in struggle, for you who believe in separation or whatever, that life has to be hard in order to feel good, or have to work hard for it in order for it to have value, then that person finds their life is a struggle. Because their frequency, and they're also given what they ask for, but also this frequency creates the life you live. So we're defining this whole concept of choice of frequency and the concept of free will, that we each have the free will to inhabit whichever frequency we choose. We can align with our highest soul's purpose and be on the highest frequency and receive everything that the abundant, loving universe wants for us, or we have the free will to vibrate on any level we want and experience any hardship we so desire.
And that's the only thing we do have we have the freedom that exists within our own consciousness, our own mind. And through choice, through freedom of choice, through free will, we can vibrate anywhere we like. We can read the daily news and go into despair, and we find ourselves connected to a lower vibratory frequency. And you can make a choice, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. I can unplug there, I can let that go. And I can say, I think I'm going to be up here, and plug in up there. And by freedom of choice, we can really shift ourselves on this whole spectrum. Biofeedback proves this really easily. You remember biofeedback and how you could change the audio frequency of a sound with your mind? So we can do that. We can plug in up here. That's, biofeedback is a training mechanism to teach us how to do this. You can plug in up there using your free will, and the minute you're above a certain point, you're in the trust frequency. And the trust frequency might not just be a single band, but it might be a whole range above a certain point. Where you reach this point, down here it's fear, and somewhere up here the heart's opening, and somewhere here it's love, and then trust just blossoms at that point.
We call those people lucky. But there's no such thing as luck, in my opinion. It is your soul's destiny. When you're aligned with your soul's purpose, and your heart will tell you, your inner prompting circumstance will tell you. Because, as we explain in our 10 assumptions, circumstance loves us more than we do. Circumstance is in fact divine. And when we incarnated on the planet, this is a set of assumptions that we chose to come here with a divine purpose. And one of those purposes, our gift to bring to the party, we have a gift to bring, but also we said we would come here on our soul's journey to wholeness, that we give the overarching free will choice that ultimately drives our life, is our soul's journey to wholeness. So the loving energies on the planet are taking us on that journey, despite what our subset of free will choices is, which is the goals and aspirations we've learned in the lower frequencies. There's an overarching choice that we made that said, yes, I will learn the lesson. I came here. Please give me the lessons I need to become whole.
This is so beautifully congruent with Ayurvedic, which is Indian medicine, and with Chinese Taoist, classical Chinese medicine, that understand our physical bodies as energy systems and understand energy as all there is, and how it is influenced, particularly, as the saying is in Chinese medicine, stress is the mother of 10,000 diseases. You can trace every disease to stress, which is wrong thinking. So I think a lot of viewers have had experience in Maine with one of those medicines, and there are many yoga teachers here, and Tai Chi and Qigong teachers. So that's another preparatory discipline for seeing this film. The wisdom of living in the present is also very apparent through the wise ones, the elders who you have interviewed in the film.